prove you're not a Skrull.
Oh, what? That's Mr. Tarantino's jukebox!
Hello there, everybody. It's me, the Canadian Rebo, with...
Wait! Stop! Whatever you do not give this movie a negative review.
You, want to put that laptop down?
Yeah, I should probably put this on. Anyway.
Who are you?
I come from a far future, where the negative reviews of Captain Marvel have pissed off so many people that they established a tyrannical regime, and now they're coming back in time to get... Wait, don't listen to him. Wait a minute, I recognize that uniform. He's an officer of the regime that's controlling our future and oppressing individual thought. Not so fast. If I recall correctly, this is a past version of yourself. So, one false move, and I blow his brains to mush. Go ahead, this is an automatic rifle. You shoot him once, I add you up 15 bullets into your chest, and you'll be dead before you even hit the ground. How about that?
Both of you, stop it. I'm starting my review, so just sit down, let me say my piece, and then you can shoot each other afterwards.
Alright. We'll sit down, we'll listen to his review, and then we'll decide.
Finally, let's get into this.
Well, it's not a female-led blockbuster without some controversy. Instead of taking any negative comments towards this movie with reasonable doubt, they immediately find the worst examples and say, okay, everybody who has a negative opinion of this movie is automatically this person right here. And for some reason, the people who support this movie or involved in this movie fail to recognize is that when you label an entire portion of your audience, that only makes it worse. It doesn't make anything better. I mean, it just alienates your audience. And whenever someone from that group tries to have an open discussion about it, they are immediately dismissed as, oh, you're some sort of bigot. Oh, what a mess we have gotten ourselves into. Knowing the setting of this movie, I thought that Captain Marvel would be another MCU space rock comedy. I was pleasantly surprised that they managed to avoid having this movie fall into the same category as Guardians of the Galaxy or Thor Ragnarok. They can do a space adventure without overloading it with jokes. I just wish they used this opportunity to tell an interesting origin story. We know that the Kree aren't exactly exemplary beings. However, I liked that this movie at the beginning shows you their side of the story a little bit. Why do they fight this fight? How does their mentality work? It paints a picture that no alien race is innocent. Carol Danvers and her Space Team 6, get it? Because SEAL Team 6, but in space. Her and her little posse believe they are doing the right thing, even though it's clearly shown that they aren't exactly angels. I was sort of invested in Carol's story, but once we get to Earth, that's where it really gets interesting. The connection that Danvers makes with Nick Fury has a very buddy cop feel to it. It takes place in the 90s, and the scenes that these two characters share and the adventure that goes on feel straight out of a movie that was made in that time. And of course, I can't talk about space without mentioning the music. And is there classic rock? Yes, there is. Grunge music. The score for the movie, I can't really name any tracks, but when we're in space, the use of the synths really give it an overall cyberpunk Blade Runner type vibe. Funny enough, this was around the time when the internet was just picking up, and rumors of a Blade Runner sequel were circulating. And we all know how that turned out. The first two-thirds drew me in, but they didn't exactly blow me away. Now, to be fair, I was thinking, alright, we're going to have a third act that's incredible, that is really going to kick this movie into gear. But it never really came. It's like the movie ran through a checklist. Alright, we have a surprise twist, we confirmed a backstory, we have her go super powerful. That's about enough. Speaking of which, it never really felt like our hero really struggled. It didn't feel like she did anything to earn the mantle of a hero. Every superhero in the MCU, regardless of whether or not they've had their own standalone movie, they've all gone through some sort of change or development. Carol Danvers, it doesn't really feel like that. It feels like they kind of gloss over every chance they get when they try to show some growth. It doesn't really make us get excited to see this hero, nor does it make the character interesting. And let's talk about Mar-Vell and the Skrulls. Yeah, I won't spoil anything here, but wow, did they butcher them. I mean, the Skrulls could have been this, game-changing new villain in the MCU. They could have been this underground threat that nobody knew of until now. but instead they're just signed off as another alien race in the cosmos. Captain Mar-Vell is, in many respects, a Phase 1 movie. A decent job of introducing the character, what their powers are, and how they fit into the grand scheme of things, but it won't make you want to return to this adventure or spark much interest in a future installment. It feels as if they kind of rushed this movie. I know they announced this movie back in 2014, but it only feels as if they really started working on it between the time Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther were released. There was a lot they had to work around with. They made sure that everything fell within the timeline so there were no continuity errors. They've had to introduce this new hero that's been in the MCU for 2.5 decades. And they also had to find a way to connect her to Infinity War and Endgame. It feels like a scrambling mess that they scrapped together so they could have one last solo film before the grand finale. Look, if you like this movie, that's totally fine, but for me personally, I wish I had saved my money and went to the cheap seats.
I told you I would be victorious. Oh, shut up. He said it was average.
Shouldn't you guys be disappearing by now?
Huh. Oh.
Well, glad that's over. Anyways, leave your comment if you like the movie, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and hit the bell icon if you're new here, and as always, this is the Canadian Weeb of saying, have a fantastic weekend at the movies. See ya!